All right, you are listening to an episode of Transparency and Merit. Are you being a fat bum? A fat lazy bum?
Yes, I am.
Is it because of the pandemic?
You know, I've always had a problem with laziness. So, but this pandemic has made me even more lazy.
It's hard to stay motivated when it's so easy to sleep. No news going on outside, and it's very quiet. The phone's not ringing. Not getting as many text messages. Stay home and eat all you want. Oh man, I really have to tell myself when I go to bed, all right, I need to be up at such a time. And even then, I've been getting up well beyond. I'm hitting the mental snooze alarm, the mental snooze button. So I guess this is where we'll start.
Yeah.
With being lazy during the pandemic. It's a real problem. I mean, I keep hearing about it over and over. I wonder, have you read anything or seen anything about being a lazy bum?
You know what? I just am going off of my own experience, Joe, and I've been a lazy bum myself. I've just been a lazy, lazy good for nothing. And I've been engaging people on Facebook and Twitter. And look, it's what I mean. A lot of this is my ego. I think I know more than I do. And you know what, man? There are things I don't know. I mean, I have ideas on things, but
you're starting to wander and drift in your thinking. What are you wandering off into Bumville?
I am wandering off into a little bit of bum buffooneryville.
Big Nick is here. The champ is here.
The champ's here. Nick, shut up.
Shut up.
But I guess I was starting to wander. I was just looking at my Facebook and the whatnot. Just man, it's just a tough all around, for me anyway. It's been a tough all around situation, and you kind of put yourself. It puts me into perspective to a degree. And, I remember my dad when he was bedridden, and he kind of gained a whole, for a little bit. I mean, then he reverted back to his old ways, but for the first time, he really gained a whole new perspective on life, and he started to have empathy for the things he did, in the past, some of the more selfish things. I mean, look, he wasn't a monster, but he wasn't the model father to a degree either. I mean, no parent's the model parent, but he started to kind of acknowledge certain things about himself.
Mm-hmm.
that he would never, like, I don't know, and I don't know if he really acknowledged them in himself before, but he really started to really acknowledge things about himself that he had never acknowledged about himself before. And for me, being quarantined, kind of like, because this is a lot of time alone by myself. I go to work, but now I'm not working and I'm kind of isolated. And it's like I have time to kind of like be by myself. I mean, I'm kind of a loner anyway, but now that I'm by myself, as much as I am, it's kind of given me a little bit of a new perspective on on things about myself. And man, I think I'm probably arrogant and self-obsessed and self-absorbed and a lot of other not so good qualities that I want to, I want to curtail and stop doing as much. I'm a compulsive overeater, although I'm not as bad as I used to be. I still do things that are detrimental to my health. And I always think, like when I'm not hungry that I can fight this, but in reality, when when the need for sugar comes along and I really want it, there's no need. I mean, there's no fighting it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to go to, like, unless there's no store available. But, if there's a store available and I want like a sugary treat, which is terrible for my diabetes, I'm going to get it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get either a Kit Kat candy bar or I even get like a Kit Kat candy bar like with peanut butter, or I get the like one of those orange slices kind of thing. It's kind of a gelatin kind of candy, and they're just like it's my poison, and I know I shouldn't have it, or I'll have bread and other things that I shouldn't be doing that'll exacerbate my diabetes and my high blood pressure. But all that is easier said than done. And of course, as I've gotten older, my appetite is not what it used to be. So
Mm-hmm.
Things do change, and like I said, you have a
I
perspective.
think your overall level of activity has also decreased. So keep
Well,
that in mind. You were playing more basketball. You were probably out walking, and at work, your routine included a lot more walking. So I'd be scared if you weren't eating less.
well, yeah, I don't know how much I'm eating or how much my intake is. Man, and I'm sleeping a lot. I'm staying up. I'm honestly acting like a teen. Since I'm not working, I'm really starting to act like an irresponsible adolescent, where
Mhm.
I'm staying up late, sleeping late, and just being an all-around bum. And that's not good.
You know what? Who says it's not good? And if you're putting your mind to use and you're looking at, hopefully you're not wasting too much time on some of the nonsense that's on YouTube. If you're using, if you're challenging yourself to do better searches and to find better information, then I support that.
Well, I'm
Anyway.
spending time on information, but you can go on information overload.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, dude, and then it's debating people who have differing opinions, and for whatever reason, the people with differing opinions uh, don't really want to. Don't want to. A lot of times, they don't want to hear what you have to say, particularly if it's left of center on average, and I'm wasting my time because they may engage me, but I'm not going to change anybody's mind by engaging a lot of people. I mean, they're not really interested. People usually don't necessarily change. their opinions that often, and the way I'm going about it is not necessarily the best way. I'm angry.
Here are 10 simple ways for lazy bums to lose weight.
Really?
Drink water. You do that.
Yes.
Bye-bye fries. Beat your cravings with nuts. No, eat healthier, I guess, is on snacks. Start your mornings off with lemon water. I don't eat it in the morning, but I do try to either juice. I might have coffee and some juice. That's it. And I don't eat until later. Have a cheat day. Not that I'm not on.
I've heard all this. Joe, I've heard all this before.
Have a cheat day. Detoxify. What are you doing to detoxify?
Nothing.
This is no. You have declined number 7.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know how much you knew about angry guy from Detroit, his eating habits. But he and I were similar in the facts that and I don't know if I would do a show on this, but I can't, like most fruit, with the exception of green apples, makes me gag. I cannot eat fruit at all. Now, are you the same?
That guy would make, he was my roommate for a while. He would make a sandwich with meat and cheese, and that's it. I don't even know if he had cheese every time. Sometimes he'd make a hamburger and he'd put it on a bun and eat it.
Yeah. I honestly,
he is.
I like my cheeseburgers with just plain meat and cheese. That's it.
Exercise a little.
Yeah.
Sleep early, wake up early. Okay. That's
easier said than done.
All right. That's a tough one. We'll go back to the picture of the fat, lazy guy.
Yeah, there he is. Manja. Looks like he wants that cheeseburger in his whole mouth. Just scarf it down.
Call out to Beppe Grillo. Beppe, please give us a call.
Are we gonna put the number up on the screen there, Joe?
We can do that. Call right in, Beppe.
Yeah.
He's probably listening.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just trying to make a figure on what's going on and what is the best interest.
Welcome to the show, Transparency and Merit.
Yeah.
We are 2 guys from Los Angeles, California. I don't know what else to say about that. What do you think, if you had to summarize what transparency and merit is, how would you describe that to somebody?
You know what? It's just, to me, it's a thing of topics. Right now, there's only me and you. We'd like to expand our universe, but it's just examining facts and seeing, like, particularly if the subjects are large and they're going to be impactful, or there is an organization that is imposing its policy. What is the merit of that? What is the merit of something? I mean, how much transparency does this, different organizations have, and then also what is the merit? Like if there's a policy, how much transparency is in that policy? Like if there's a law, like how much of the law that they're saying, are they giving us all of the details? And then how much merit? Like has this kind of law or something, has it been tested? Has it been done before? I mean, governments have done these they've never done a stimulus package of this large. No. And I guess the Fed is printing money. And is inflation going to go through
this out there? This is a global reset that we're experiencing. And I think everybody should know, if there's one word I think everyone should know about, it's tertium quid. Go out and learn that word and apply it to what's going on right now, if you can. Tertium quid. I'll spell it out for you guys. But yeah, you can call in if you want. Anybody out there, 310-668-1969. And what are the global numbers in relation to the pandemic right now? Are you aware?
What are the numbers so far?
Yes.
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if if there's been like a crack or an improvement.
Maybe somebody could call in and give us those numbers.
Now, by the way, I was as I was going to 7-Eleven today, I managed to cross a police officer.
Oh, nice.
And I was asking him, like, yeah, I'm hoping when, just, normal little banter, saying I'm hoping when this thing's going to be done. And he said, well, I know people he said I was also I'm also in the military. And he basically said, it's going to be till June. So April, May, and June. School's over, folks. The kids, I wonder how much the kids are liking this.
Did they announce that schools are not returning?
No, man, schools are not returning, baby.
Wow. That was a big one. I hadn't heard that. Darren will one day retire. I know it. He's saying, I doubt I could ever retire. Based on what? We don't know what the world's going to look like when we go back to work. There's no way it's going to be the same. Would you agree? If we're going through a global financial reset, why would we go back to come on. Things are changing at light speed. If you're worried about a pandemic, you're missing the boat. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there. I mean, I want to have this conversation. I believe that we are going through a global financial reset, and that right there is going to be one heavy change that we're all going to have to deal with. Everyone, not some of you, everyone.
Now, how is this going to affect average Americans?
In my opinion, man, I'm not quite sure yet, but if you listen carefully, and maybe we should play some of it. But have you been watching Donald Trump speak?
Here and there.
He dropped some interesting clues, but it's really hard to say. But it's hard to say where this is going. I don't know anybody that can give you that answer. I just know they're not going to be the same. What does that mean? Oregon's curve is non-existent now. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean, Darren? What does it mean that the curve is non-existent?
Why would I shut up? This is my show. I hit play. Why don't you shut up?
Now, Dawn wants to call in for her diabetes. Can we give our number out? Dawn wants to talk about her diabetes for a quick second. Should you give out? Can you give out the number, Joe?
You don't have me on Skype? You've called me on Skype.
So she's talking about her diabetes, and yeah, that's her number. Also, she can call in as well on Skype.
There's the number again if you need it.
Yeah,
call on in.
But call in, Jewish producer on Skype, Dawn, so we can hear.
You shut up
about your diabetes.
Yes, we're going to get a phone call soon about diabetes. You're not going to want to go anywhere. It's riveting talk right here.
Hopefully.
Some advice. If you wanted to see a future without diabetes, what would you recommend?
Fasting. It's easier said than done, though. Every attempt, I have failed. My appetite is stronger than my willpower.
All right. But that leads to better health. I mean, that's what you're saying, better health.
Yeah, well, better health, but I think the best way of health is fasting.
There are a lot of ways to get healthy, but sure, fast. I'm more partial to making it a lifestyle change. Hello, you're on with us. Is this Dawn?
Thanks, JP. You're so welcoming to me.
How's it going?
Not. Yeah, it's Dawn. I just
We're full of personality here. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Okay. Brian, I just have let me just share real quick. My experience with diabetes was short, but I still went through, in fact,
that wasn't me.
Why did you do that?
That wasn't me.
What? Well, she can call back.
I'll call back. Okay.
She went off the call, folks.
That was
We're facing difficulties. So, oh, is that her again?
I don't know. I think what happened was I called her. Oh well. I called her and then she tried to call me while I was calling her. That's weird.
Well, she'll call back.
Hmm?
She'll call back. So Trump has done his speech, done his, and like I said, who knows how much of a turnaround we're going to make. We're seeing that schools are going to be out. All the movies that are coming out, man.
So that means schools will be out until the next school year starts. Wow.
Yeah. Kids are getting an early break. They're loving this. Except they'll be out in the street next year and see how they like it. You're going to have to work for a living. Because it's going to be like, you know what structure and other things can break down? This thing of going to school as a kid. We may not have, like, sooner or later, all the things that you thought you knew could break down in an instant. And like going to school as a child, past high school maybe, that might be a privilege because we may not have the money for that. If inflation gets terrible and we can't pay our bills, teachers aren't going to work for free.
Mm-hmm.
And this global reset, things could get really bad. I mean, with my diabetes, I don't think I'll live that long if society goes too wrong. I mean, I guess I'll just die. It's going to happen sooner or later. And the ones that live through this, it's going to be a nightmare. And
I think there are enough safeguards that will protect everyone. Everyone will be fine. I don't think there'll be, I don't know. I don't foresee these kinds of shortages and blockages of pharmaceuticals and all this other stuff. I'm not sure how. I don't know what's going on, but it is a very bizarre set of circumstances for sure. All right, let's try this again. All right, Dawn, you're back.
Dawn, you hung up on us.
First time, and then I thought you guys. I'm like, hello. I was like, can I just say this one thing to Brian?
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely not as easy said and done regarding the diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it runs on my mom's side, and because my mom has always thought I was fat, even when I wasn't, it's different now. I mean, I remember her sending me to school with Nutrisystem. Anyway, she killed my metabolism. That's not the point, though. Brian, I need you to look up videos by Dr. Jason Fung.
How do you spell that last name?
I'm going to assume it's F-U-N-G. I'm pretty sure it is.
I've heard of that guy. Yeah, I've looked at. Okay, here's the deal. I've looked at those videos. I actually bought the thing. I listened to the thing on fasting. I might read it again. But here's the deal. I have heard all of that. I know the right thing to do.
you're just unable to do it, or at this time. No, I
How
get
do
it.
you?
I
Yeah,
get it. But
so
let me tell you that diabetes could be causing you to be depressed and all sorts of things. And the things that like JP was reading about, go to bed, or stuff like stuff like that is all stuff like that is really almost not with me at least, realistic. But when I was diagnosed, for me, sadly, it wasn't like, oh, you can go blind, you can lose, your foot, etc. You could die. That's what people made it out to be, and you still can if you totally neglect yourself. That being said, because I had gone to my doctor, who provided me with no education whatsoever, and then I went to another doctor, and the same thing happened. Therefore, I decided to pretend like I was in college, and I literally sat up in my office for 2 months, researched, read everything I could, etc. Now, the only reason, what came into play with me was keto. And we all know, most know that keto is just, it's less than 20 carbs. But see, I ended up getting myself not purposely eating no carbs. So, because I don't like sweet. So I am lucky in that way. I don't drink soda.
that's my heroin. I got to shoot up.
No, I feel you. I don't like coffee. I don't like chocolate. So that's how weird I am anyway.
I would break the law for sugar.
And reinforce that.
If I didn't get any sugar.
This bite's for you, Brian. I made brownies tonight, by the way.
You've got to think every time, and it's so hard, but I'm just going to tell you what I did. First, I switched to keto, which is mostly eating, like I said, less than 20 carbs, but you can just do low carbs, of course. And it wasn't bad for me. In fact, once you really get on keto, and I remember these people I was in a support group on Facebook that I just would watch. And someone would say, here's my lunch today. And it'd be like a big, juicy hamburger with bacon, cheese, because all of that is keto. Now, the problem, and usually with diabetes, your triglycerides go up. You probably have problems with your blood pressure. I don't know. Things like that just go hand in hand with it, like whether you're eating a gallon of bacon or not. I mean, or whatever, pounds, whatever. So, yeah, I first did the diet change. I also did it because apparently ketogenic diets are also for people that had epilepsy. So I did it, and I mean, I always felt satisfied. I never felt, hunger, like, oh my God, and it was good. And I didn't really feel that way before, but I'm just going to go on what most people feel. But in the keto, pretty much almost brought me down all the way. It's called reversing diabetes, and there is such a thing. Because before I had diabetes, now my A1C, and this is without medication, I don't have problems. My A1C is like 5, I think. 5 or 5.1. Regardless, that's down from, at one point, they said 11, but I'm going to go with the number 9.5 because I never really knew. The point being is, Brian, you can do it. And even if you can't, buy a glucose meter. They're not that expensive, just a cheap one from Walmart. And what the best advice I can give you is what I did first was follow my trends. You know what? I can eat apple. You're not, believe it or not, this is the only part I did have trouble with. I love fruit. And that's just quote unquote, I don't want to say not allowed, but it's not a choice. But, that's why I ended up in the reason I ended up in the ICU this time had nothing to do with any of my surgeries. I freaked because it was a week before. And I was like, oh my God, it's because my blood sugar was so low. That being said, what medication are you on, Brian? May I ask?
Who cares what medicine he's on? He's on he's on diabetes
My
medicine.
diabetes. What?
He's on diabetes medicine. Who cares?
Because I'm interested because different ones.
Why
of
would you
them-
ask that? If you're a therapist, you should know better. You don't talk about people's medication.
No, I'm not a
What the hell's wrong with you?
dude. That was JP. Please don't. I'm trying to help Brian. I really am. And if you guys are like, you know, I was watching on YouTube, but then I took it off because I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to say to you, I reversed my diabetes on my own with no doctor's help. I'm asking the medications because actually it wasn't more of the medication as to how often. You know, I don't know what his A1C is, and it makes a difference. But I was going to tell him there is a thing. It's a supplement. It's super expensive. It's called Curelin. And they want you to take 2 pills like after you eat, like a half hour after you eat, which I just, because I didn't have like an actual eating schedule, I just made sure I took 6 a day. And then, like, first I started taking myself off as long as my blood sugars were showing up, okay, and I could track them. I just did it by myself. But because I really don't get sleep, and sleep is very important, reducing stress in your life is important. And those were 2 things I just could not do at that time. And the whole sleep issue, that's a different story. That not sleeping and stress, though, have actually been scientifically proved to either worsen or better your diabetes. All I'm saying is that I was going to give you the name of this one. You know, I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to be like putting, but it helped me get over. I had, Brian, like your regular numbers, right? From your
Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't follow it like I should, and I should start following it again.
That's what you have to do. Is eat to your meter. Okay, so if you go in and maybe you have like I can go in and I had an apple and it raised my blood sugar. And the best advice I've ever received is eat to your glucometer. In other words, if it's not going up, then, there's people who add, especially after keto, they don't stay on it the rest of their lives, unless it's for other reasons. But, they slowly add some carbs back because the carb restriction is low on a keto. So I don't know if you'd want to do that given the fact that you really love sugar. But no, there's this medicine. It's a supplement like that. I know it's in the store called Curelin.
All right.
And
how much does this Curelin cost, and where can we get it?
It's $75 for a month supply, which is 180 capsules. You don't have to take them, throughout the day or whatever. I just started with I'm not gonna lie, I started with the maximum dose and then titrated down. But right now, I'm not taking any, but it's $75 a bottle. Of course, they offer a 2-bottle, price and a 3-bottle. And I've just now started, and it's like, I think it comes like $202, but it's $75 a piece. I mean, you might as well if you have the money. I'm just saying, it drastically changed things. So I was already non-diabetic, but that was the reason for the ICU. My sugar was so low that they had to check it. Like, it was either every half hour. And the scary part is when you have low blood sugar, usually you can feel it. Like I get real shaky.
I think we're going to play some paddle tennis and get our each other like.
Paddle tennis courts are closed.
Go on, JP. What did you say? What were you saying?
They closed the courts because of this thing?
Basketball courts and paddle tennis courts are closed.
Not courts, JP. Calm down. Not courts like, I'm sure you've been to many times. I'm just teasing. No, I'm serious. Obviously, no.
They don't want people touching anything.
Oh, he's saying they closed the basketball courts at the local park.
They closed
gyms and
the
stuff.
the
Yes,
basketball
and courts, outside courts. They're all closed.
You're right. I live on a lake, but the house faces one way, and the other house actually faces the front of the house actually faces just a regular, neighborhood side.
Can I ask? Do you ever go skinny dipping?
By what? I couldn't hear you.
Do you ever go in the lake? Do you ever swim there?
Oh yeah. We have a boat, and it's a pontoon boat. And the problem is my parents, obviously, at their older age. Not that I can talk because I'm about to be old myself. I know it's a state of mind, JP. Don't start lecturing. But anyway, they would I'm in South Carolina and the humidity is brutal. And when it's like 95 degrees, that's when my mom wants to go out. And I'm like, screw that. But because of my dad he has neuropathy, non-diabetic, I might add. And so he falls a lot, and it just worries me. So out of guilt, I go on it. Now, it's beautiful. And there's people jet skiing, and there's like a couple of restaurants that are on the lake and stuff. So it's beautiful here. But the front of my house, all you do is just cross the small street. There are one children's soccer field, so it's not big. And then you can see the lake from the street. It's just so it's just the way the lake works and the way the housing is. But so yeah, to answer your question.
What the hell are you talking about?
He asked me if I swam and did stuff like that in the lake.
Okay. I was asking, do you ever?
Okay, I got it.
So yes, you go. Do you ever partake in the skinny dipping?
Good question.
I mean, Brian, same damn difference at this point. I'm trying to help you with your diabetes. If you wanted to help, you've got to want to do it. That's the other thing.
I was helping me. That helps me with my diabetes.
Yeah, but what about the skinny dipping? Is that a no or a yes?
No, not in this lake. There's no way. No, they cut the freaking whatever lake police or aquatic, whatever they call them. I can't think of the name, but it's something type of police. Yeah, right. Yeah, jeez. I'm gonna do that. They probably actually love it.
Have you ever skinny dipped?
I have. Yes.
How long ago and where?
In Virginia. No. In Virginia for sure.
Nice.
It's probably been 10 years maybe for that. And I think, skinny dipping, you don't care whether it's a pool, lake, ocean, freaking swamp, do you, as long as I'm naked, right?
Right.
Right. So no, as I have some friends, a lot of people have some, their own pools, even though we have a public one. But yeah, I mean, we've just done parties there. And they're not huge. We play freaking water volleyball. But yeah, we'll do it. I mean, no one can see what's down below because you're underwater. And I mean, I think it's beautiful. Women's bosoms are beautiful shit.
All right.
Especially if you got too much, like me. Because there's will be reduced.
That's wonderful.
I'm gonna read a statement by Stefan Molyneux. Social distancing. Yeah. Tell me if either of you agree with this statement.
Okay.
Social distancing is psychologically designed to put off the day of reckoning until you're burdened with grief, with fear and grief, to be enraged at the Chinese Communist Party.
Disagree. This is a global economic reset.
I disagree. There's two different things there. Two different issues that to agree and not agree on.
All right. Why don't you tell us which ones?
Well, I feel like as far as the social distancing goes, I feel like we're not doing it correctly. Well, I know a lot of people on here, we just got our notice for, no leave the house. Yes, just yesterday. So, our governor, as usual, was always on time, But I wouldn't know it living here. And in fact, we have an app that just does the neighborhood, and people are like, "Why are you letting your kids play with each other?" Blah 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 blah. But it's just a matter, is social distancing done correctly? I think first of all, that matters. That being said, we can't predict the future. I think JP tries to sometimes, right? But we can't predict the future. I'm not gonna lie. I'm totally on the opposite side of you, JP.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can discuss adult things without, whether it's name calling or saying, "Oh, how stupid do you think?" No, I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with it. That's all.
That's fine.
And yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's nothing, personal or anything. I am worried. I do believe it's going to go on longer. I don't know if it'll be a day of reckoning. If I could tell that, shit, I would have been out here before the virus came, I don't know where I would have been. But you know what I mean? Like if I'm scared. But as far as social distancing, they've already said, okay, yes, it can help, and it does make a difference. That's just, 6 feet apart thing, whatever. And that's when they expect at least 100 to 240,000 now deaths. However, if the social distancing is done incorrectly, which we see all the time it is, or just people not doing it, it's not going to work. And then they have after mentioning that, they're talking about 2.2 million being dead. I mean, so I think it's scary as shit. I've got older parents. I mean, I'm not exactly young myself. Younger than you two, maybe, but how old are you, JP? No, you're 47 or younger.
No, I'm 48.
Why don't
I'm the big 5-0.
birthday March? Happy belated birthday. Sorry, a lot of shit obviously was going on.
By the time I was your age, I'd lost my mother, and I think not my. Wait, how old are you? You said 47?
No, 42, right?
I couldn't hear his question.
How old?
Wait, how old are you again, Don?
I'm 44, and on Easter I will be 45.
Okay, so let's see.
I don't care about the 40 part. I care about the fact that I'm going to be 5 years from the age of 50. And
hey, I'm there, man.
How old are you, Brian?
50 exactly. And I'm an orphan, and I don't have my parents. Listen, I lost my mom.
Yeah, I can't imagine even doing that. I mean, even when I was married, I wasn't like one of my brothers who just, doesn't come to visit. It's like, "Oh, I'm done with you now." No, I included him in everything. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're having a midlife crisis. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing of it is, dude, this kind of thing, I'll be honest with you, because seeing all the hospitals and stuff, and that's where my parents kind of ended up to a degree, does, kind of does remind me of my parents passing away. But, I mean, like I said, part of it is what it is. I mean, it is part of, after I lost my mother, I knew that, my father being as old as he is, they can go at any time. I mean, some people mentally prepare themselves, and I think men, on average, not 100 percentile, but men are on average better for they know that they can go at any time, and they're able to be logical. I think women less so. I could be completely wrong on that, but I think men.
No, I don't know about less logical, but I would say it seems like, and now this is from from physically, I mean, now of course men get plastic surgery, but you know what I mean. The Botox, the filling in, all that stuff is mainly geared towards women. So I think we have a harder time mentally. Physically, I have reasons to say no, but either way, I mean, I do overall, I guess, agree with that comment that somehow they're prepared. It might be just, who knows, a physical condition, but men are just, whether it's this subject, a lot of them are just like, I don't care, like, fuck it. Like, guys will call girls petty or whatever. just we do stupid things or we fight over dumb stuff. So to men, though, I'm just saying, in the majority is women. My mom is 77.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and she's super skinny, but she's had work done on her face, and it never stays because she's gotten so thin that she's it's like the crepey skin. My point is, it's like guys like you'll never gonna hear him be like, oh my god, usually I need Botox or let me get that whatever it is, the stuff that makes your lips like bigger.
I think women have aged so ungracefully nowadays. It's really horrible.
It was the pressure put on the women to grow older more I'll just say in regards to physical appearance is tough. Like she doesn't want
to you know what, they're doing that to themselves. Most guys don't care as much, and also there is a difference in because your mother, when she grew up, there was a very large female surplus. In my age group, and I believe in Joe's age group, there's a very large male surplus. So you're going to see, and I heard Stefan Molyneux say that 30% of males are not reproducing.
Welcome to the show, by the way. If you are here, you're listening to Transparency and Merit. You've probably fallen asleep by now.
Yes. Wake up.
Before I come over there.
Wake up. We got some serious.
Come on, get him in a headlock. He'll love it.
We have some
serious. Everybody talk about reproduction all of a sudden. You guys should be interested.
But I was saying your mother's of a certain age group where there was a male surplus. I was listening to Dennis Prager, and Dennis Prager was saying, "Oh, women are not as looks conscious as men," but that changes with the demographics. And Dennis Prager also grew up in a time when there was a larger female surplus. There isn't today. There's a larger male surplus, particularly in Western countries, and women can be more choosy. And also the sexual revolution, women will mate with alpha males, and even if they're married and stuff, more than they will with males that are not, who are a little bit more beta. And there's about 30% of an estimated 30% of males that are not procreating.
Okay. So do you think the fact that there were less females around you didn't get, I'm not saying like
me. Well, I mean,
less nurturing.
I noticed that in my father's age, in my father's age, when my father grew up, there were more females to males, and that wasn't the case in my age group. There were far more males to females, and this is in Western countries.
Right. No, I understand what you said. That's why I said, do you think it has anything to do men? You say not caring as much or whatever. Do you think it has anything to do with the social pressures? Their background. I mean,
well, listen, women want, people want what's in their own best interest, and particularly when it comes to mating, they want what's in their, and they're going to do what's in their own best interest. And movies. Here's the deal, Dawn. Movies and entertainment have set men up and women up too for less happy lives because particularly men, they always think like the average guy is going to get the girl over the handsome jock. It's not going to happen. And the same thing with the bully. If you just stand up to a bully and fight him, he's just as scared of you as you are of him. That's a load of crap.
I do have a video I want you to watch.
All right.
play this for a
I
quick
can talk
second.
about the subject, which was diabetes, when I turned into the show, or I got a notification.
All right,
from
we're
the
going
show.
to watch this
I
quick
didn't know
video,
that.
just
Now
like
we're talking about
30
people
seconds. Can you do it?
amazing.
Don,
30 second video, Don. 30-second video.
do you think you could do it? Uh-oh. All this talking.
There's nothing corny about a disease that kills more than 300,000 Americans every year. Diabetes, our nation's #3 cause of death by disease. Hello, everyone. I'm Bruce Jenner.
And I'm
Yes.
Linda Thompson Jenner for the American Diabetes Association. Join our campaign to stop diabetes now, before it strikes you or someone you love.
Help us give all diabetics hope for tomorrow and help for today.
Support your local American Diabetes Association. We
thank you.
Okay, what was the advertising ad trying to get my money? What was your point on that, JP? Just curious.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
He wanted to show Bruce Jenner. Okay.
Video. I heard what it said. I understood it, but aside from trying to give you money when they are the ones.
Don, you were talking for 20 minutes straight. I wanted to show a 30-second video, and you're giving me crap for it. Are you really giving me crap for that? I'm just asking.
No, I'm giving you for crap because if I change the subject, you flip out.
Don,
you don't even talk.
I've showed a 30-second
no
video.
here.
You can
Sorry.
resume talking where please just keep talking.
It has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with you're talking about a subject and someone calls in. Do you know how many times why it takes so long to finish just one thought?
Don, we can pause whenever the point of running a show, Don, is we could do whatever we'd like. And we've been going. We were talking with you you did this last time you came on the show, and you talked for an hour, and we finally brought somebody in. We brought Angela in, and you got offended that I brought her in. So
okay, Jake. So we're gonna go back.
You're doing it again. You're doing it again, Don.
No, I'm not. I had to talk for an hour over her.
All right, she wants to make a point.
You're always like,
go ahead.
Don, let's stop the arguing, guys. Don. Yes.
Don, slow it down.
Don,
slow it down.
You've got people in here that have hated each other for 10 years or had a fight. It's ridiculous. Get the fuck over it.
They love us.
This is real life.
They all love us. They're all gonna love us.
Yeah, right. Your numbers. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I was talking when I called on the first show. I never call in. It was something that I had an opinion about, and I mean Brian was talking right back to me.
Okay.
So it's called a conversation.
It is, but I could break in at any time. I don't do it unless I felt it needed it.
So basically, because of your show, because it's your show, you're claiming you can do the right, whatever you want, and you are right. But that's something to me talking. I get interrupted when I'm talking about trying to help Brian with diabetes about skinny dipping. Yes, it's your show. You can do what you want, but don't sit there and be hypocritical.
I didn't bring up skinny dipping. I didn't bring it up.
I'm sorry, I did. You know what?
Here, if
listen.
The point is, and then it takes you totally off subject, and then takes 10 hours to finish just one quick thought.
That was the longest quick thought I've ever heard.
Bringing the person you did in last time, and I don't care what you think, but you've done it to other guests you've had on the show because first of all, you knew that I had questions about her. You and I had talked about it, so we're not going to go there. That being said, I don't care if she is, I don't even know. Whatever. The point is to bring her in. The only thing it does is she causes conflict. That's on a show, and that's also in main servers. And you can't get many people. You can't get many people to disagree with that, including yourself, JP.
Until it strikes someone close to you, it's difficult to understand just how serious and destructive diabetes can be. I found out when my son David became diabetic. From that time on, I watched a wonderful, exuberant teenager struggle each day with the limitations, the uncertainties, and the fears of this
The point,
life-threatening
JP,
disease.
you like the
And I
conflict.
hurt for
You
him,
like the arguing.
and for what I knew he would probably face in the years ahead. Because right now we can only control diabetes.
I love that woman's hair. She's gorgeous.
Awesome.
Can we see some? Can we get some pictures of her? By the way, can you DuckDuckGo or Google some pictures of images of her?
Only a cure
I
can
Is
might.
that her name? Is that her name's not Brian? What is her name? Who is Soul Broad?
juvenile
We'll have
diabetes.
to look her up.
She's a foxy one.
9999, New York, New York, 10000.
That was for juvenile diabetes, an even bigger problem at the time. Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
that sounds like an older commercial because I'm not watching it. 'Cause-
It is.
Yeah,
It's an old commercial.
Back to the subject before you just interjected again, which that's your show. You can do that.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's get.
Okay,
Hey,
let's
hey,
go
I
ahead.
like
Joe,
Dawn,
please,
go ahead. Go back. Get on track again. I know it's hard. Get back on track.
You don't let someone finish a thought or something. My point to you is, you do it sometimes when Debbie is on your show.
Done. We're not
She
going
like
at
do
each
it
other
in-
right now. Can you get on with the point?
You brought the other. Who brought the other show up? You did, JP. Okay,
boy.
so that's how I started talking about it. Just at least, take when it's your fault. At least accept it.
Whatever. Okay. Anything else to add, though, Dawn?
So it's not whatever. You do it with Debbie's on the show. You'll bring
Oh
her.
my
You'll
God.
bring the other girl.
Dawn, I'm
because
gonna
you
mute
put
you.
this on
I'm gonna
topic.
mute you if you don't get back on track. Can you
I
get
don't
back on
care.
track?
I'm done.
Can you
I was
pull
trying to
yourself
help her
together? Can you do it?
Joe, you're making her leave.
together all day.
We're gonna have no ladies here. She's the only lady that calls in.
We're very
Angela's
we're
not
very
around
grateful
anymore.
to have ladies in
And
the
I
house.
know you're grateful, yet JP, I know things I've said in private, and for the reason that people don't get into her, I've heard the same reason. But I'm not.
All right.
You brought the show.
Okay.
The end. It's all good. I don't give a fuck. I moved on a while ago. I don't know what happened to you, because you just want the arguing. Meanwhile, you're like, guys, stop arguing. You're putting popcorn and
Dawn,
gifts
can you
and-
stop it for a sec? Nobody knows what you're talking about. Just get back on track
Well,
or
that's
say
not
good
what I
night.
heard, 'cause the next day, people were talking about it. I even thought to myself then, like, that was last night. Haven't you had any other thoughts since the show? Like, who cares? It was no big deal. I mean, fighting on Discord is no big deal. And fighting with that person, which I don't care if she's
Okay, Dawn, I have no idea what you're talking about anymore. I'm just saying,
Of course,
the last time you
know
called
it.
in, you made a stink after you had plenty of. My only point was you had plenty of time on our platform to say whatever you want, and you have it again. We're giving you plenty of time, Dawn. So if we interject, let us interject and move on. I mean,
hey, I don't know how you treat your wife, but you're not going to yell at me, okay? I'm not yelling at you. I'm respectful towards you. Okay, you're saying make my point or whatever and move on. I do, and it gets brought up later. And when she was on the show, before she got on there, we were having a normal adult conversation. Well, at least Brian and I were. You don't even say shit. You just sit there and I don't know what play with the screen. I don't know.
Okay, there were two. Dawn, answer this. Dawn, answer this. Answer this. Oh,
don't worry about it.
All right, answer this. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, Joe.
Dude, anytime, you know what? If somebody's going to keep talking over me, there's no point, man. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with that. You know what? I made a point, and she made a point. I wanted to make a point, and she kept talking over me. Stop doing that, Dawn. It's rude. It's rude. I'm calling her back on your behalf here.
Hello?
All right. Are you of sound mind? Can we continue?
JP, I want you to think about all your opinions on everything in life. Are you of sound mind?
We are not getting into personal stuff here. I have my own
Oh,
beliefs.
But it was personal when she attacked me the same way she has done with you.
You're missing the point, Dawn. You're missing
No,
the point.
you're missing the point.
You are, and you're
like,
talking
if this
over.
makes you mad?
No, but you're talking over.
On their balls.
No,
like,
you're talking over me. You're talking over me. You talk.
Yeah, I have to.
No, you don't. You have. That's what I'm saying, Dawn. You have plenty of time to make your point.
But I didn't. My point was to call about diabetes, and I was interrupted with that. So there went that point. There went that topic, and then it went on from that to different topics, aka not staying on the same topic. But you brought up the first show, and it's like, oh, you had plenty of time. I've been civil to her. She's been civil to me. We've been fine. But it just changes.
You're missing the point, Dawn. Dawn, you're missing the point.
No, you're missing the point that when you get attacked or someone pisses you off, you say it and you continue to say it for like a week after, where, it's okay.
Can you give me an example of that? I don't think you can.
But actually, I got, where do you think I got my information that the show was being talked about by you, one of the people. And I'm like, the next morning. And just like now, everybody's going to hear this.
You're talking about the next day, but you just, okay. Go back and listen to yourself. Go back and listen.
I did not bring up the show. The point is you can't move on. The other thing is when you sit there and you guys pull out toilet paper.
I moved on an hour ago, Dawn. The show is now an hour long.
I mean, but like I said, when she called in,
we're at an hour.
The media thing was to freaking criticize because that's all she knows how to do most of the time, unless she's pretending she's someone's friend for the day.
You're missing the point.
Vicky and you have agreed with everything I've said regarding her.
You're missing the point, Dawn. Again.
No.
Why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask me what the point is when you're ready to hear the point? Because you keep missing it.
I'll let you know.
Right?
How's that?
Let me know when you're ready, and I will summarize the point, and we'll get down to it.
The summarize is you brought that up, and during that show, you were referring. You kept saying, or you keep saying, you had plenty of time to talk. No doubt, I surely did, and it was great when adults can have a conversation. But then someone comes in and I say, "You're a child," and that's what the words were spoken. That's all I said. Hold on. Later on the show, I wouldn't be talking for like 5 minutes at a time. I was doing stuff. I was just listening, and every slight comment by her was coming in, and so therefore, that is why it continued on the subject. Because anytime I tried to change it, and she tried to change it, but if she changed it, and if anybody weighed in, she had her slight comments on the side, which again, it's called grow the fuck up.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know who name calls like that. Really. And when you do that, you've got a problem. It's them that's got the problem.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm just saying, don't be a hypocrite on your own show.
Don't now let me know when you're ready to hear the point. So we can go back to why I brought that up. All right. Not ready to hear it yet. You can't handle the truth.
No, sweetie, I can handle the truth.
Dawn,
I know more about
there were two adults in that situation, and you allowed yourself to sink to a lower level. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, was that your point then?
That was my point. That was my point. You always have
her one name, even crazy. Later and finally I said, because I don't get it. 1 minute she'll come in the room and she'll be like, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" The next minute she's like, "Rawr, I want to suck your blood." So yes, I did mention that I definitely see, I think I see her having bipolar. But again, regardless, I mean, the information regarding her situation, I don't know the truth. You don't know the truth. We don't. And that's why when I was starting to say, though, and I just said, "You're a child," I was going to say something positive, but you saw she jumped the gun. I get it. If you have kids, you defend them. But I hadn't said anything. And you said I stooped to her level. Tell me when I ever called her one name. She was calling me a bitch, crazy, sick on medications. I mean, what the fuck? I didn't call her a bitch. She's like, oh, she's messed in the head. And those comments kept going on even when the subject was trying to be changed. So in other words, and she does this, she sends in, when we were talking about something else, she's like, yeah, but I guess she doesn't know that. I mean, it just kept going on. And instead of saying, look, this is my show, and again, you have voiced your opinion about her to me, and I know why you don't start shit, but I'm not gonna, whatever. But you've got to understand, I mean, just like with this dentist thing coming to America, boy, you were pissed. You were all over the place with that. So you can't talk about me being, upset or frustrated that she called in, took us off topic, and when she would either call me names nonstop or make a comment, or she would, slip them in there when you guys are talking. And all you did was laugh and pretend like you were enjoying the show with the popcorn pictures and stuff. And I thought, wow, of all people, JP, I didn't know that about you. So I was shocked, whatever.
All right.
And I don't care if I'm on mute or whatever, like I said, I have a real life outside Discord, and I'm on disability, I work part-time, but it's really sad. But I was shocked, and I was also shocked with you, like I said, because if you want a good, show, yeah, drama brings it. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but no, there's just some that are worse than the others in that yard.
What about your milkshake?
It brings all the boys to the yard.
All right, you just spoke again. I'm just going to give you a clear example. So I made one comment about 5 minutes ago, and you went on a 5-minute tangent without taking a break, without pausing for interactivity. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
this is
okay.
This is
right.
this is where we're.
Right.
This is
but
the point.
Okay, you said what you had to say, like you told me. You're right. I did do that.
I literally said one sentence, and you rattled off 5 minutes. I literally said one comment.
You go off about Dennis for about 3 hours. So you can't be saying anything, and usually, I just look people over, and I just ignore her. That's what I was told to do. And, and then I don't know where this shit came from. The point is, if you want to, my point about my milkshake milkshake, is your ass. But we're talking about fights and arguments. Yes, debating and a little bit of drama get you an audience.
Joe Brown is waiting on every word you say, so I won't get in the way of that.
Well, that's good. At least you've learned your place now.
Joe won't stop.
I'm totally joking with you. And again, if someone else was doing that, you'd be fine.
No, we're all good.
JP, I have another question. How come you don't say anything? Like Brian does most of the talking, and not that I care. And if people call in, usually he does the majority of talking. It seems like I'm just asking you, maybe I'm wrong. Why don't you say anything with your own show, and don't sit there and say when I'm on it, because I've called into your show twice. That's it.
I do. I have my moments. A lot of Brian's topics are his topics. I think he's more versed in a lot of them. I jump in when it's necessary. I don't leave him hanging.
But my point is, so other people are contributing to, and
what
this
do you
is
care? Start your own show. You got something to say? Go say it.
Why are you urging people to call in about your topic if you're just gonna, say get your own show? JP, I've never been anything but respectful to you.
I'm just asking you, why are you critiquing the show so much? If you're such a critic, go start your own show.
I think you have one of the better shows.
We do.
So again,
we know that.
Okay, your listeners don't know that evidently, but I feel you do. because
You're
you
not the
guys
first to tell me
usually-
that, Dawn.
Okay, but I don't care about fucking numbers. I don't even know how to do the fucking radio shows on there. All I know is, I called in whoever, back in the day when I did do them, partially, part-time. But I just couldn't do
I
it.
am a third wheel. So what? I'm a third wheel.
But my point is, you jump in only when it's time to criticize, but if there's an argument, I just wouldn't. Why would you want to surround yourself by negativity, which is arguing? And like you said,
I
it's
don't
your
think
show. You could have hung up on me. You could have hung up on her. You could have hung up on both of us, but you didn't want to because you liked it, and that's the part that bothers
You're
me.
listening to what you want to hear. We're definitely not trying to keep
No,
it real. We don't have a negative
I'm
tone.
stating facts. and
People
that's that.
would not say they like the show if we were all about negativity. I think that shows. I don't think we're about negativity.
I'm saying when
I'm shocked that you would. I'm shocked that you would sit there and tell us to our faces that we are negative when we're not.
Well, I'm not looking at your face. That's not to your face. Second of all, you've made several comments about you do this, this, and this. So I'm bringing up issues that I have that you do. But to your face,
Dawn, you started with the critiquing. Let's not go there. Go back and listen.
I just said see, before you open your mouth.
Go back and listen.
But with the critiquing, see, there you go again. That's why it takes
go back
forever.
Dawn, you definitely need to go back and listen.
I'm not interested. I called to help Brian.
You definitely need to go back and listen to this one, please.
Oh, this one's better than the other one. I thought
Mr. Midnight Movie's been talking way too much. Brian's been talking this entire time.
When I'm talking to Brian,
you haven't even
we
said
go back and forth. It's called a conversation.
Dawn, how come you haven't even said a word tonight? Why?
Yeah.
Dawn, why haven't you? No, I'm asking you a serious question. I want to know, why haven't you talked tonight?
Okay, like I said, the hidden meaning behind that. I mean, obviously I've talked tonight. You know it. Maybe that's what you're trying to get me to say. Either way, I don't know what the hell you're saying.
I'm just going by what the chat room keeps telling me. They want to hear more Dawn and less JP. So I'm gonna give you the floor, and I'm gonna shut up because
what?
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up, and you're gonna do the talking.
No, I'm done. Like I said, I'm sorry that I called and helped somebody with their health. My bad. Next time I should think,
that was a good thing. We asked for that
before I do something so terrible.
Dawn. That was fine. There was nothing.
No. You gotta understand. I've got a memory like you won't believe. And
Dawn, but you still doesn't make you a good listener. It doesn't matter if you remember. Okay.
A good listener. When have you ever heard me call into your show? This is the twice. No, I don't. Like I said, I'm not on Discord. I see the notifications at night. I don't think twice. I don't listen to anything. I'm not. That's nothing against you guys, but But I have heard your show, and like I said, I thought it was definitely one of the more mature and respected.
You've got the floor.
What?
I said you've got the floor. So you tell it like it is. You tell it like it is.
Well, you can be sarcastic all you want, JP. And I don't mean this in any type of conceited way. I've had to work in prisons with men on death row. So talking to you or whatever, and your comments,
I've worked in prisons as well.
I'll be done.
I've worked in prisons as well. So we're even there. We're even there.
Try doing psychotherapy on these men, okay? And also try being a woman at the same time.
How do you know JP was not a woman at one time?
You don't know. You don't know.
No, obviously, but you know what I'm talking about. If you think the harassment was the same towards the men as me and other women like that I was in college with at the time, no, I mean that's crazy to even say that.
Okay, let's reel it up to the present time here. Brian, was there anything else? Do you want to finish up with the diabetes talk or anything else related? Brian, are you there?
You know, I want to say thank you to Dawn. She has motivated me.
Me too.
I'm gonna keep my track on this diabetes, and I'm going to make another attempt to really get hold of this.
You can do it, Brian. I know you can. I know you can. And when you do it, let me tell you, when I found out my A1C was fine, I was elated. I was like, the hard work paid off. The only other thing I can tell you is when you're eating that sugar, and this is like not exactly the first thing you want to think of, is just think of, and it's not, well, sugar is carbs and carbs are sugar, but the point being is just think when you're putting a cupcake in your mouth, know that you're contributing to possible blindness, possible amputations, possible, all the other complications.
Yeah.
Just that, try to think about that. It won't help all the time, but it might help. If you go to Facebook, there's a group called Reversing Diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
I'll do that right now.
I learned a
Yes.
lot of information from there. That being said, it's funny because they'll be like, post your morning fasting number so people will take pictures. Well, there were people at me at the time that I'm seeing them in normal range or close to it. I was embarrassed to post mine, and many people. So sometimes they're just like, I don't know, unforgiving. But I never talked in there. I know I am here, but I didn't say. I just would look, and if I saw something that I thought might help me or I thought promising, I'd go research it myself, decide if it was good or not for me. If you take cinnamon every day, that can help your blood sugar tremendously. But this Curulin, look it up. It's expensive, and I obviously would talk to a doctor before you start it.
All this diabetes talk, am I feeling a little something here between you two?
Oh my God! It's.
I'm sorry
love,
I'm sorry to get in the way of that.
I can't see what's happening. Come on, this isn't freaking The Lion King.
The best part of this show is watching Brian.
I've just joined those groups. Well, wait, pending your request, they want me to answer a question. What is your qualification?
A whole bunch of messages from.
My qualifications, I have type 2 diabetes.
Now, mind you, you asked where this diabetes talk came from between two of us because he keeps talking about it now. Not that I care, I'm just saying it's an important topic. It's also to remember, though, that unless you're like type 1 or something, you choose whether you, not all the time, of course, there are always exceptions to the rule. You choose your death sentence or you don't at this time in your life. That's up to you. And you have to find what, factors motivate you. Like for me, it was definitely my parents. For one, and it was my health. It was the fact that I didn't want to freaking take my blood sugar 1,000 times, but I did. I used to go through prescription strips and I order my own. But Brian, just see what foods bring your sugar up, and then go from there, aka eat to your meter. If you take
what
you eat,
you know what I think exacerbates my diabetes, and I might sue social media for this. I'm only kidding, but
probably stress.
I think I've been shadow banned a few times on both YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and I have no idea why. Just I'm pointing out my opinion. I'm asking people questions.
What did they do to you? What comments were they making? That's what I didn't understand.
Okay, so someone was in a comment asking about reparations. And I asked, reparations for slavery. And I asked, the conversation went down the rabbit hole of do the blacks in Brazil, I don't see the blacks in Brazil asking for slave reparations. I don't see this kind of thing worked out around the world, by the way. It seems like it's only within within countries that have a large European diaspora where these kinds of things are asked.
Okay, okay, agreed. I think the reason is because we're supposed to be America. We are America, you know what I mean? And we are supposed to be, role models. That being said, I'm not sure I understand.
But these people don't like America.
So that was getting you down? Are you saying, how did it contribute to your...
Well, it pisses me off. It makes me nervous.
For stress.
And it causes stress. And I think, it makes me, and it probably shouldn't, but it does make me angry. I see, for me, on these social media sites, the left gets away with things that the right could never get away with. And that does make me angry.
Okay, now we're veering towards politics, but...
No, that's true, but it's something that I find very unjust and very wrong.
Okay, no, I'm not minimizing how it makes you feel. But I was just about to say something. It used to be, someone's overweight, that's why they have diabetes. That is obviously can play a part, but how would you explain all the people that are skinny with diabetes? So
yeah, you're right. Look, it's a BS excuse. I have to call bullshit on myself.
Stress is actual cause of diabetes, not related, an actual cause. So, I guess that I would go, try to reduce your stress. But we all have topics that piss us off, obviously, as we've learned tonight.
Yes.
And we all have things that stress us out, But that's just, that's a whole different issue. That's being able to control your reaction. I mean, your reaction is what controls your thoughts. It depends on how you respond to these. I mean, I understand you're offended. You've told me, and I, that's not cool. But you know what I mean. I'm not knocking you for that, but you've got to change your response to what they're saying. Like, this is the way my motto is, and because I have never, I think maybe once, been in a fight on Facebook. I see stuff I disagree with all the time. Just like you're saying, you hear stuff you disagree with.
Dawn,
you have your choice. There's a pile of shit in front of you, okay?
Yeah.
Are you going to walk through that shit? And
Wait,
make
can I say something? I just want to say something, and it's off topic, but I found this to be...
I apologize. I couldn't hear him. I told you a million times.
No. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's... please.
Anyway,
I have a question. I have, like, on Facebook and just on social media in general, I have found that women, and leftist women at that, are far more censorious than males.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
I think it depends on the woman, but I mean,
But on average, as a general rule, do you find women to be more likely to censor and cut people off because they don't like their politics and want to?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. That goes back to when we were talking about a different topic, how men can usually deal with getting old better. But I mean, at the same time, you guys ain't got to do shit but shave. And as we can see, the handsome JP is not shaving. He looks like a different person.
He's going for the rabbi. Well, you know what? Just in time for Easter, he's going to grow a full beard, and he's going to rise again. But let me, okay.
I believe it. He's going to rise on Easter.
I'm uglier I'm uglier in person for sure. This does not.
No.
He looks like the real, but he looks like the real. He's the original Jesus. But let me just ask this. And I noticed that the women, like when women start to have control of these social media companies.
There,
Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
Well, she'll call back. We'll see.
Did she leave us? Oh, Christ. Yeah. By the way, someone said, let me just say that I can't be helped. I'm not gonna, Debbie Daly just said that we've tried for years. He's basically saying that I'm a lost cause. And she hasn't watched. I sent her 2 good movies. One is Sapphire is a pretty good film. I don't think you watched it either, but I'm more hurt that she didn't do it. But what the hell was I going to say? Well, I'll tell you this: Debbie is known to block people and hang up on them immediately if she gets upset.
I've only done that a few times, but look, if you come in, you talk for 20 minutes and then speak over when somebody else is trying to talk, it's just rude. But I love Dawn. I think she's great. So yeah, she should come on anytime. I don't block anybody. That's not true. People or person blocker. I'm
you block people blocker. The only person I've ever blocked has been Howard, and that's because not because of what he said, but what he did.
That's right. That's right.
And I resented what he was saying too, because he would habitually call my show to put our show and use our show as a platform for his vendetta. And then I guess he was angry at Joe. And he started to just call just to make noise and try to frazzle me. That's very bullying behavior and not very nice.
Yeah. Debbie blocked Nimbuster from right in the middle of the show the other day. Just blocked him.
Is Nimbuster Commander Slinger?
Yes.
Okay. He made me laugh a few times.
I don't know who I remember that Commander Slinger got it. I don't think so.
Yeah. And then there was Dr. Herpington. Let's not forget him.
Yes, that's Nimbuster.
Yeah. And then there was that's not Nimbuster. Give me a break. I heard and then there's no, Frozen Fart Liquor was not part of I shouldn't even bring up these doggone names, but there was a guy who actually tried to hit on me, and one of his hashtags was Frozen Fart Liquor. Unbelievable. But
that's what it was.
He loved the Bears. I don't know if you've heard, loving the bear. But yeah, so Debbie has accused you of being a people blocker, and that she blocked Stabby. Do you want to bring her on? Because I have the same question that I asked Dawn. You want to call her? Is she even on?
Debbie, will you answer your phone?
She probably won't. She probably will not answer her phone.
Don't have to answer. Just don't answer if you don't want to talk.
No, she's not even on. Not even on.
You never know. She's not here.
The person who you're trying to reach.
All right.
Not even answering. I'm going to ask her the same question that I asked Don. So I was spotting a few things on Twitter.
Oh.
Hopefully the diabetes people accept me, because I need help with my diabetes. And I probably someone misses hugs. I miss hugs too. Not really.
You know who I miss is Liz. Liz ditched us.
No?
It's probably something I said. Sorry.
Did you say something inflammatory to Liz? And then now she takes out?
I don't think so. She just up and bailed. But I noticed she wasn't answering our text messages either.
You know what? But that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. I don't have, I can't force people to like me or dislike me. And I don't want to chase anybody down. It's like, that's a waste of time, man. If they don't like us, they don't like us.
Yeah. What about these this Twitter feed of yours? Are there any tweets that you sent that you want to watch right now or no?
Well, there was a whole thing on Andrew Yang, and it's still the same social justice buffoons.
I don't see that. No. You remember these? Oh man. Did you have a pop gun when you were like a cork gun?
I had
or
a
pop
cap gun. I had a pop gun. I had a switchblade knife.
The Chinese stars?
Did I have the fake Chinese stars?
Or nunchucks? Nunchucks. Are
Yeah, my brother had some nunchucks,
those are fun.
and we had different types of sticks. I never though. I think the best weapon would be like putting either batteries in a sock and battery, or a lock, socket, a lock and a sock. I think would have been a very effective smash in the face weapon. But I remember when I got threatened, I think, with a pair of brass knuckles. I had a guy put a switchblade out on me. It was kind of scary. I remember. Now, did you ever take the local bus when you were a kid, Joe?
Sure. Oh yeah. Jenny Yang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's the thing on Yang.
Yes.
Is this what you were
He
talking
wrote
about?
an article, and then stupid. Look, we're facing a pandemic, and Tim Pool thinks that the social justice warriors are going to be a thing of the past, and no way. You know what? These people have power, and so the Andrew Yang article, I guess. I mean, it's saying that there's a lot of anti-Asian racism, and that I don't think there's a lot of it. I think it may get worse. Just like during the time of 9/11, there was some bad things happening. I do remember when the Iranian hostage crisis, there was an Iranian kid there, and people he got such a hard time. Kind of feel sorry for him now. But I think on average, in this day and age, things are a little bit different. And
wow,
yeah,
we've broken the barrier here. We're at 11 live. I want to thank you for being here.
Yeah.
What's up, Russell? Is that really? I think that's Laszlo P. Quagmire, if I'm not mistaken.
You think so? Russell Taylor?
Is that you, Laszlo? I remember his name was Russell.
It might be him. And then again, it might not be him. Who knows?
You never know, I suppose.
And then there was a lot of articles saying, just a lot of left-wing Asians, SJW Asians, were on the thread, and that is not. I don't think that is. No, I don't think it is.
It is.
Oh, it is. He looks very different. With his beard, he could have murdered me and then got a beard and said it wasn't me.
How many times did she have to call us, Debbie? We were trying to get a hold of you.
Why don't you call us? Because you said I'm going to fail at this, but and you tell me how I'm going to fail, and then you don't have to if you don't want to. No pressure. Just like there was no pressure to have a steak dinner with us. Someone had promised. That Italian lady that runs, and now restaurants are going to be a thing of the past. We'll never be able to have a steak dinner again. Restaurants are closing.
You had your chance.
Movie theaters are closing. This is And you know what? I blame it, Debbie. I think that you might be to blame. You just set just the moral world on fire. And now, because of this, there are no more movies. There are no more restaurants that you can just sit down and eat a big bowl of spaghetti bolognese and talk about how bad things are. We could have talked about Mr. Solution and everything else, but no.
Manja.
No. I was in the process of tweeting someone.
Well, we're at an hour and a half. What do you think? Are we done? Did we give you motivation to snap out of this doldrum?
You know what? I always say to myself, I'm going to snap out of this and I'm going to get better. And, you know, just like my old man who said, I'm going to get up. Like when he broke his hip, he said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to have a hot dog on a stick. He wasn't lying. He meant it. But he always said tomorrow. And, you know, I'm under the delusion that tomorrow is going to be a better day, and I'm going to make a life change. But in reality, you know, like I feel it. I feel like today is the day where I make a change.
Good.
But I'll say this.
One of the last things your dad ever said to me was tomorrow. Because I would always urge him to try to get up. Just try it. Try to get up. We got a call.
We got a call.
We got a call. Hello there. You're on with Brian and Joe.
The only thing that you could cause is more calls to the suicide prevention.
Our most evil nemesis has called in.
He's found yet another number to call on. Wow.
I think
I was woken.
How many numbers is this?
By your voices, which were still playing in my head, in my earpiece, but I had fallen asleep. And then I thought to myself, how badly they're doing.
The true King of the Jews is called in.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to do is leave something bad on playing while you're sleeping, because it'll creep into your subconscious. Hello. Hi, Debbie.
Is this the show? Did I get the show?
You did.
You finally got the show.
Brian and Joe. You would have been on with Howard, but I can't bring both of you on. I guess I could have brought you on with him. Darn it. Oh, well, I messed up.
Well, I think, you know, well.
Brown Beasley sent me something today. I wanted to play it for you. It's Madam Whip-Ass.
But, that woman is amazing. She's still on. But
Oh, yeah. Listen to what she did. This is directed to Brown Beasley. He sent it to me today on my Gmail account. If I can get it to play, hold on. It's pretty funny. Here we go. Well, play. Hold on. I got to go backwards here. I don't know how to. Okay, here we go. And start.
Well, from New York, you're 3,000 miles away. From Georgia, I don't know how many miles away you are. Could be 2,500, 2,200 miles away. But I tell you, I would grab a machete and chop you up into pieces for fucking with my birds. I will give you a Colombian necktie.
Oh shit!
I would slice your dick off and shove it down your throat.
Oh shit! Gangster, ain't you, bitch?
My birds.
Your birds. Sick ass motherfucker.
You do that and kill my birds. Fuck it too real quick.
You believe that crazy bitch?
Oh my God! You know what? A lot of I'll tell you something. A lot of these people, and it's whether it's in white separatist groups or black separatist groups, they're all talking the same nonsense, and they're all fanatic. I mean, these are fanatical groups filled with people with fanatical rage, and these aren't the most rational people. I listen to TRS, and I looked at them on YouTube.
Did I hang up on Debbie? Can I? Who's caller? You're on here the air with Joe and Brian. Who is this?
Laszlo P. Quagmire, Esquire, attorney law at your service.
Hey, how's it going, Laszlo? Now, can we get Debbie? Can you add Debbie in?
Yes, I'm adding her in now. Sorry about that. I hung up on her. But hey, Laszlo, long time no.
It has been a long time since you've been around. How are you handling this quarantine?
Who are you addressing? Me?
Oh, Laszlo. Laszlo, how have you been handling the quarantine?
With both hands. I have been quarantined myself. I just today have been released from custody, as it were.
Huh. All right.
Really?
What kind of custody are we talking about?
Medium custody.
All right. Wow. Do we need to know the details?
Yeah, I've spent the last 10 months not doing cocaine.
Cocaine is needed right now. I'm kidding.
It's a hell of a drug.
Well, they don't have it as cheaply on the outside. I mean, on the inside as they do on the outside.
Well, I'll tell you something, Laszlo. I don't think is there. I wonder, are drug dealers still as active as they were? Because you'd think that the drug dealers and the drug addicts aren't going to have the drug dealers just because the supply and stuff. I just don't see that happening as much right now. A lot of people are going to have this.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Laszlo. How did I get back on the show?
I kept calling you.
Magic. Somebody stuck their finger on the right button.
I didn't even answer. That's rude. That's weird. JP had put me on hold.
Sorry about that. I had
muted.
Muted.
Unmuted.
Laszlo.
I still say that to this day. I still do.
He sounds just like that voice, dude. Do it again.
Yeah, we pranked a bunch of people with that shit.
So many.
Do it again. Wait, do it.
Muted. Unmuted.
You sounded just like
Muted.
that. They thought
Unmuted.
you were Howard.
No, I am not Howard today. I am
to
back to being Laszlo P. Quagmire, Esquire, attorney law at your cervix.
At your cervix.
I'm glad you're back. That's good. Glad you're out of the slammer and on the show.
Yeah, I spent almost 10 months locked up. Most of my time was spent right near Texas A&M College in Bryan, College Station, Texas.
Oh,
Were you on a farm?
Yep, the Hamilton unit. A therapeutic community run by a company out of Missouri called MTC Corp.
It's a privately owned prison. Is that what you're saying?
No, it is a TDC prison, but it is operated. The rehab part is run by a private corporation.
I knew a guy that got out of prison recently, and he was in such good shape because they cooked only fresh vegetables that they grew, and they only ate meat of the cows that they grew and they slaughtered.
In prison, there was farming going on?
Do what?
I was on one of these bullshit places.
What did you say, Mr. Midnight Movie?
There was farming going on? You could slaughter animals and work on... Was this old McDonald jailhouse? What was this?
No.
Well, yeah, some of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division places actually have farm animals. They have cattle, they have hogs, and some of them actually do farming of vegetables and such. We got a lot of sweet potatoes that were cooked on the unit. Were actually grown on the unit. Like I said, Beto unit in Tennessee Colony down near Palestine, Texas. They have hogs there. There's other ones that grow cattle for slaughter.
This guy was on one that grew cattle, and when he got out, he couldn't even eat McDonald's or Burger King or anything because it didn't agree with his system because he'd been eating such clean, perfect food. He was in great shape. He's the guy that stole the cop car from the guy in Greenville, and then he ran over the cops.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was
How
pretty
about you
cool.
shake his hand?
Yeah, me too.
No, I've been behaving, which is uncharacteristic for me, for the past months, and got out today from Hutchins.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It wasn't anything I did. It was all parole. I bamboozled them enough that they decided to get rid of me before I started causing problems. And you know how I can cause problems.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
How's your mom doing, Laszlo?
Mom's doing good. Dad's dead. Grandmother's dead.
I
And
think keep what to do.
Mom is the only one I got left.
She needs to sell that email so I can do it.
Okay. You want Mika's email address? Is that what he wants? Is that what she wants?
No, she just wants.
Hold on. We got a little baby in here. Hold on.
Okay. As they're dealing with their little baby. As I was going before, I'm assuming that cocaine and other drugs are harder to get. Illegal drugs are harder to get now just because of this whole COVID-19 pandemic. Just because,
Not really. They're just more expensive. It's supply and demand. When there's more dope than there is dope heads, it gets cheap. When there's more dope heads than there is dope, it gets more expensive.
I can imagine.
But that's in any economy with pretty much any commodity.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to stay on with y'all.
Oh yeah.
Again.
I thought
will be
Brian
back
was
again.
asking some riveting questions, but he was letting you hang there. Come on by any time though, Laszlo. It'd be nice to kind of catch up and see what the plan going forward is.
Oh, absolutely. I'll save this number and I will get back with you folks most likely tomorrow night.
Cheers, mate. Anytime.
Y'all take care.
You too. Take care, Laszlo. Nice. Wow, he's getting the sweet smell of freedom again.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, I think jail is a hell of a place to be in.
Mm-hmm.
We may be quarantined, but we can go. I mean, like, it's. I guess it's a self-quarantine, but we can go outside. People have said the worst thing about jail is not getting getting raped or beaten up. It's that the loss of freedom. You think about, like, if you want to go to the store for a late night snack, no dice. What's that?
Sorry, Laszlo, what was that?
I said that happens on some units, but not all.
Oh, okay.
I never experienced any violence, never witnessed any unnatural sex acts.
That's good. No, I've heard that happens far less than people tend to. That's more of a myth than a reality. But
Yeah,
what someone says, the worst part is the loss of freedom.
It's called the Safe Prisons Act.
Yeah.
What happened is one guy he was getting raped over and over and over. He told his family about it. He told the guards about it, and they didn't do anything. And after he killed himself, the family sued the prison system for an enormous amount of money. And like a week later, there was a Safe Prisons Act, and they crack down on that shit. So
I've never, you know what, Laszlo, that is the first time that I've ever heard of the Safe Prisons Act, and now I'm actually going to Google that Safe.
Safe Prisons Act? Safe Prison Act.
Yeah,
oh.
PREA, PREA.
Oh, PREA.
Right here, it says the Texas Department of where's that coming from?
It's the phone. I got to put myself on mute.
I
Sorry.
wasn't going to rat him out, but it's him. But
Sorry
I will say this. I don't know about you guys. Did everybody here hear sirens all day long? Like, it started early all day.
It says allegation for the purpose of this plan is unconfirmed report or a claim made by a person regarding a potential risk. Alleged. These are all the definitions. Let me see let's go down. Let's see. After the definitions, it says, here we go. Let's see. I'm looking at the actual thing here. Security supervisors at each unit shall conduct and document unannounced rounds to identify and deter sexual abuse and sexual harassment. These rounds will be conducted during all shifts in accordance with the applicable post orders. Staff is prohibited from alerting other staff members when these rounds are occurring. Staff shall not conduct cross-gender strip searches or cross-gender visual body cavity searches, such as the search of the anal or genital opening, except in exigent circumstances. Does it go on with the guards?
It can, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Offenders identified as transgender or intersex shall be given the opportunity to shower separately from other offenders in accordance with the CMHC policies. Youthful offenders. Offenders younger than 18 are considered children. Blah, 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 blah. When youthful offenders are outside the housing areas, maintain sight and sound separation between youthful offenders and adult offenders. Are y'all around the young ones sometimes?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, if somebody 16 or 17 kills their parents, yeah, they're in general population.
Wow, that sounds dangerous.
You fuck up like an adult, they'll treat you like an adult.
Offender victims of sexual abuse shall timely, unimpeded access to emergency medical treatment. Yeah, but aren't you called like a rat or something if you rat that stuff out or something? I mean, doesn't seem like it'd be,
Well, yeah, but they'll take you and they'll segregate you from general population. They'll put you in protective custody. They won't take the problem out of the system. They'll take you out of the system, and they'll leave the problem in the system. That's the only fuck up in this deal. If I claim that somebody touched my ass or tried to finger my ass, they would take me out and put me somewhere safe instead of taking them out and putting them somewhere where we're safe from them. So basically, all they're doing is they're taking away one meal and giving them opportunity to find another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thick and thin of it, basically. But hey, y'all, listen, I'm at a party right now. I'm having this getting out party.
Nice.
And but I wanted to call you folks and say hi and what's going on, and I will be back with you soon. That's a Laszlo promise.
Stay free.
And I keep my promises.
Stay free and come back. All right, Laz. I think we're almost on our way out of here. Brian, you have anything left, or are you done?
I think I'm done. Just like and subscribe, and
Still got a lot of listeners. I'm glad you're all here. It's very important. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No problem. But Liberty says I'm going to kill myself after listening to this. And you know what? If that's what you want to do, you're free. This is a free society. Well, it's not really a free society. Let's be honest here. Like and subscribe. And look, I've been very arrogant lately and just saying things, and I kind of want to change my ways. And this
Liberty should look into, before he offs himself, look up tertium quid and see how it can be applied to what we're going through today.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna, try to do more listening and less bloviating. I did quite a bit less talking, although I got back onto my phase of bloviating.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh wait, she's back. Oh, you know what? I actually, we were about to end this show, but now we're back on. I wanted to ask her.
Keep going.
You haven't. I tweeted to you 2 movies. You have not. Oh, you did? Which one?
I'm watching Journey into Light.
What'd you think of it? Do you think it's a piece of crap? Be honest.
He's in some kind of weird jail right now. I can't figure out what he's in, like a hotel. I can't figure out what's going on. But I'm watching it.
Okay. What about Sapphire? Oh, so you haven't watched Sapphire, huh?
I haven't started. I found it. It's bookmarked, but I haven't. No, Laszlo's not in jail. Not yet, but I have got it. It's bookmarked.
Okay. So you did. I'm impressed. So how are you handling this quarantine, Debbie?
Oh, it's boring, but the kids are here, so that's fun. Heather brought the kids over here because they'd been with her for 3 weeks, so now they're over here for a while. And Jet has to be at a Zoom meeting in the morning for class, so no big deal.
It's probably difficult all the way around for everybody. You really get to know someone when you're locked in a room with them. You probably have gotten to know Vic in ways that you've never.
No, he goes to work, motherfucker. I couldn't do it if he were here. I would kill him.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I don't like Vic, you know that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think when the old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and familiarity breeds contempt. The more you get to know someone, the more you dislike them. People have ways.
Look at that little face with that little brown eyes, that little face of yours. You've got the cutest little button face in the world.
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you did.
Just let me put Gangster Ace on my face.
Oh, shut up, Gangster Ace. You fucking idiot.
By the way, whatever happened to Gangster Ace?
I don't know. He was kind of weird.
You know what? We're not in the. There was Gangster. David Fiker's still around.
Yeah, I talked to David. I hang out with a lot of people on Facebook still. It's really weird. David.
Katie D.
Katie D. She's on my Facebook.
Is she posting? How's she handling this quarantine with the 2 little rascals?
Dude, you know me. I can get anybody on this show. If you want me to get Katie D, I'll get Katie D on.
Really?
Yeah, of course I can.
She on Skype right now?
Mention it, and they usually just show up because people are always listening out there. I didn't tweet this show, so I thought this was my show. I forgot it's your show. Yeah, sure, I'll get her.
How about Mr. Solution?
You want to make a bet I could get Mr. Solution back on my show?
Hey, Debbie, you've been saying that for quite some time.
No, I've never called out to him. All I got to do is just make a point to call out. Excuse me. You know me, I can do it. One night I called out to Steve Rush and he called. People listen.
Steve Rush is in love with you.
They don't know about this show. So
Steve Rush is in love with you, so he'll come. He'll drop his Slurpee in a minute. By the way, if you go into a 7-Eleven, you'll see Steve Rush. I'm kidding.
I'm not touching that Slurpee machine now that you tell me about that. That's gross.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I'll sometimes get a sugar-free Slurpee. Probably not the best thing for me though. But is the Slurpee machine down at your 7-Eleven?
Do I? What?
Is the Slurpee machine down at your 7-Eleven, by the way?
Yes, it's down. I forgot to tell you that. It is down.
It's down by me too.
I know.
Joe, do you want a Slurpee? I think Joe's having a brownie.
I made brownies tonight. I'm good.
You can make a brownie, Mr. You can make a Slurpee, Mr. Midnight Movie. Do you have a blender?
Yeah, no, I don't know where it is. I can't.
I don't know where it is. You can make one.
It's lost amongst all of his appliances.
Just blend the shit out of that ice until it turns into like a freeze, and then put Coca-Cola or Sprite or whatever you want in there. Or you
Have you made that? That's what you should do, is make a homemade Slurpee.
Yeah, I can do that. I do it almost every day.
God, you know what? I mean,
have the bullet.
Debbie, do you think the movies now were there dollar movie theaters near where you lived, or were there still dollar movies or discount?
There's not anymore. There used to be. I think there might be over by Sunnyvale, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go and look to be sure. But there used to be all the time. Do you remember going to Blockbuster Video and we'd get all pissed off when there wasn't the video that we wanted, and so we would have to sit there and wait to see if somebody brought it back, or they would have to look in the end basket down there.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Blockbuster was owned by the Mormons, by the way. That's why they didn't have any porn.
Be kind, rewind.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what my old man said. And,
they used to charge us money if we didn't fucking rewind those things.
Oh, yeah. Be kind, rewind. I remember the first video stores were usually, the first ones that came out were usually owned by foreigners, and then big chains started to take over, and it kind of hit off. I mean, and now it's Netflix.
Yeah, they own 7-Elevens and stuff. I know that shit's right.
Yeah.
So Madam Whip-Ass is threatening Brown Beasley. She's going to kill him.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a real threat. I mean, but I guess Brown Beasley said he'd kill her birds. So,
I think he was joking. I don't know. I sent him an email today. First time I sent him an email, and I said, "Hey, you will get no sympathy from me." And I sent him a thing that Dr. Herpington did on me. He sent a dossier of me to the group Anonymous. So.
Well, I'll tell you something. Brown Beasley's the people on that TRS have threatened. I think one guy flew out to LA from Chicago to fight.
Wow.
To fight Beasley. And Beasley said he just looked at him with those dark sunglasses. He was waiting, I don't know, in some kind of airport or some barbershop, waiting to take Beasley on mano y mano.
Mano y mano.
And it's the TRS. I mean, those guys are some dysfunctional, violent people that will, if there's a video. There is a video, by the way, of a guy tracking down somebody who made comments on his YouTube video. And, I guess he was like a rapper or whatever. And the guy was telling him how much he sucked. And the guy, basically he got his IP address and he followed him, to his apartment. And he was ready to take him to Pound Cake City.
He's ready to roll? Wow.
Oh, shit. Did y'all hear the rap song about the coronavirus?
No, they have a rap song?
Oh, yeah.
What about that kooky rapper from Dallas that was in the news about a week ago who had corona?
Gangster Ace?
Shut up, Brian.
It was some
I used
guy
to like
heard
that kid. He was cool.
Gangster Ace.
Right. Didn't he get in a fire in his house? Somebody set his house on fire. Remember? Yeah, man.
Whatever happened to Gangster Ace? Now I'm looking for him on YouTube. I can't find him anymore, Debbie, because I type in Gangster Ace on YouTube and it's like
Can't find him.
Can't find him. Wait, is this it? No.
My Corona.
I have heard that one.
Cute. Yeah, there's a bunch of rappers that are doing songs about the coronavirus. I heard one today on the radio. Actually, I was in Steven's car, and he's got this badass bass unit. He was like, the first day he put that unit in, I said, "Play, take a walk on the wild side." And he goes, "What?" I said, "There's your bass song. Take a walk on the wild side." He goes, "That's got bass in it." I said, "Lou Reed worked off bass big time. He's got deep bass in that because he wanted to hear it, listen." That's a big bass right there.
Oh, yeah.
Molly came from Miami, Philly.
By the way, there is a rapper. His name's Scarface. He claims to have been infected with corona, and he went on his buddy's show, the Willie D Show. Brian, are you familiar with the Willie D Show?
No.
I'm surprised. You got to check this guy out. You got to check this video out when you can. And it's such utter nonsense what these two do. And it's amazing to me. Like these guys are such like, well, I have the video, but it's, it's an 8-minute thing. You really need to kind of watch it. And, you'd probably, you might even look into some of what this guy here. I'll show you. Super annoying stuff. I don't make this stuff, people.
If you're outside of the U.S., let me know.
All right. So this rapper on the right is from Texas, from Houston, and Willie D is this kind of like.
I know. Yeah, I know who Willie D. Willie D. Oh, by the way, this is what pisses me off.
There should be a lot about this guy that pisses you off.
Really? Well, no. Okay, and he doesn't piss me off. The people that allow him to get away with things that persons of other persuasions could never get it. Like a white person could never. Like he did a thing where he tied up Don Lemon and a whole other group of and Stacey Dash, a whole other group of people that he thought were.
He's pretty controversial.
Yeah, but if I did a video where I was bashing, and I didn't even go violent, and I did a thing where I was bashing Jane Elliott and who's the other clown? God, now I can't even remember his name.
Come on, it's the diabetes.
It's the diabetes. God, not. Well, you know what? I got to look on my thing here, and I have him as a Twitter handle. Oh, what's his name? Uncle Tim Wise. If I had one like where I was chewing out Tim Wise and all the rest, I would be banned from social media. But this guy's allowed to do things that, like I said.
Well, look at this. This is a perfect example. This guy on the right is faking the whole nonsense.
Already, after you subscribe, there's a bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notification each time I drop a new video like this. That way you can be in the loop. Family.
What is this guy's problem?
You got some family business.
He's claiming he had corona.
Take care of. As y'all know, this corona. Scarface at the hospital a few days
Look
ago.
at him.
And he was being tested, and all that kind of stuff. And
this looks like the balloon show.
It is.
Just today, he
please turn him off.
News.
He just looks so. He looks like. This looks like. Look. You know what? We do stuff where the IQ lowers by the minute, and I don't want to look anymore. I mean, this is just.
You know what I'm saying, man. This stuff is just.
This is some remedial stuff, and I don't want to, like, good God, even the acting here is awful. Good God, I just like, even if he's really sick, it looks like he's faking it, like he's a big fake.
Debbie's show is 100 times better than that.
Wow. Did Debbie leave?
Debbie?
What?
Oh, she's still here.
Yes. He looks weird.
He
does.
Monkey or
That's
gorilla.
the guy's known as Scarface, and just look at. I mean, geez, look at that guy. I mean, look at that guy. These guys are just. These are people. Intelligent people should never consider these individuals. If you've got a brain, if you've got a brain in your head, I mean.
No, I don't understand a man walking around his house without a shirt on with people in the house with him, and I damn sure don't understand somebody on webcam without a shirt on. What kind of a sick, classy, piece of shit does that? Hey, I'm on webcam. I ain't got my shirt on.
Look at him. He's pretending to be Scarface or whatever. Come on, man. He just, he does look like he's. Does he go into more of his acting? Like, is he coughing up phlegm and boo-booing like a bitch?
Yeah, it's.
All right, let's play a little bit more to see how much he fakes. Let's give him an actor award.
COVID-19. So, needless to say, this
I got the COVID
out of me.
Cough some phlegm into the camera.
And I say, well,
more coughing.
How do you feel about?
He's picking his teeth and sucking on his thumb like a big baby.
So here we are. Brad, how you feel, man?
Here we go.
Like this whole 3 weeks has been an ordeal, Will, and like it's the craziest shit I've ever done and seen in my life. Like I've been to the point where I just felt like I was gonna die, bro. Like I threw up so much until it was just like hot. Like hot sauce. Like your gases and shit in your stomach, your acids is hot. I didn't have no food in my stomach, man. It was just coming up like bile, bro. I couldn't breathe, Will. I mean, you came in there, you see how they covered you up, man, like I was fucking hazmat, bro. You was there?
Yeah.
I was hazmat, homie.
Yeah.
It took that wasn't my first test I took. They lost my test some kind of way. And then they found,
as he goes on, tries to make it believable. Then he says something later that kind of just blows his whole story way out of the water when he talks about the quarantine, but he's at home with the rest of his family, and it's just obviously a fake. I mean, there's
he's either faking it or he's really not. Well, people are quarantined at home. So, and I don't want to call anyone, I have no proof that he's faking it. But like I said, I mean, not the best, not the best role model anyway around.
Right,
and,
right.
Someone just asked, is he worse than Tariq Nasheed? You know what? It's a close one, but I think that I think Willie D probably is, because he's more likely to be violent. Both are kind of narcissistic and think they know it all, but one's more likely to be violent than the other. But both have the potential to be contentious and violent, and not a good thing. Not something our country and our world and our decent world should really kind of look at for. They're not role models for society, and I guess I'm not either, because I mess up a lot. Did Debbie just hang up on us?
She did. Why don't we just go ahead and end this sucker?
So we'll end it. And look, like and subscribe. And we hit a few things. Like I said, I've been very arrogant. I don't like pointing out people that I don't like Willie, like who I find kind of juvenile as far as violence.
This guy is a faker, and he should be called out. It's disgusting.
Well, and Willie D is still a violent, self-deluded, and you see this a lot of times on these channels, on these racial channels, just very self-deluded. The TRS show, like it'll go like I think like 2 days. There's just different people running it, and these people can talk all night about social justice crap, and I don't want to because I'm against them, but I don't want to and all this conspiracy crap. Look, after a while you got to go home, and there are things that you say, and after a while you're just repeating yourself and saying the same goddamn thing over and over, and sometimes you got to mix it up a little bit, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
I get it, but I think it was in bad taste, and especially when there's so much confusion. But this was a clear case in my mind of just pure fakery and trying to play it off as legit. And yeah, I'm not too happy about the way that turned out. I watched it a couple days ago, and I was really mad.
Well, Joe, we are entering into confusing times. There's a lot of information out there.
I think we're entering into a time of revelation, and you're going to hear that word a lot. I think things are going to be 2020 is for clear vision, so they say. I think there's going to be less places for the lies to hide, and I think we're going to be able to see a lot of truths. Maybe
they certainly
truths, but we're going to see them.
I certainly think that the internet has tried to be censored in this day, and the information age and the censorship age are going hand in hand, and we know who's in power right now, at least as far as social media and in the media in general, who's in charge and who wants to basically shut down because they want to control narratives and they want people to believe certain things. Who's in control? I mean, that's just the way I see it.
Let's get out of here. It's May Day. People are leaving. May Day, May Day.
Like and subscribe. Eat right. Eat fruits and eat vegetables. Clean food. Drink plenty of water. Hopefully you can get some toilet paper.
Quiet your brain.
I want to recommend this, and you can do this or not, but I recommend if you're not working, the government has set a self-quarantine, and people may disagree with me on this, but if they're going to print money and give out money, you might as well have your hand out too. Money is power. So if you're unemployed because of this, or you're even partially employed because of this, file for unemployment. Google unemployment and file for it. Do it to the best of your ability. That's what the government did. That's what I think they want to do with this, and you got to fight for something, because right now it's going to cause inflation, and you might as well get something. I'm going
to say, don't worry about it. We got to have a whole. This is going to be an interesting month. We've got a lot of stuff to go through. We have a lot of stuff to learn. And a lot of things to be open to as far as changes. Things ain't going back to the way they were, I don't think. And I think we have a financial reset in play right now. And I really, really want to get into the nuts and bolts of why I think this is. And it takes some explaining. It takes some kind of. It takes a lot of understanding, really, to kind of get to the point of it. But I think we're going to have to talk about this, and I would like to talk with maybe even a lawyer or some people that might know more than I know about some of these ideas. But I definitely, I think we have a good show coming up for you. And we'll be back tomorrow. Who knows if we'll talk about it tomorrow? But we'll get to these changes that we are facing, and they are real, and they are big. They're going to impact everybody.
It's impacting us now.
I thought this was about being a bum during this false pandemic. That's what Dennis said. And Dennis, you're just late to the show, man. We've done a 2-hour show. It's not our fault. It's not our fault that you missed the rest of it. Don't come in here blaming people. We love everybody that participated tonight. I'm glad that I don't even know what that means, monkey.
Angela just said Brian loves Bernie.
What does this mean? JP believes in something is happening. Of course, there's a global reset in play. But there are things that are not happening that we're told are happening all the time. Keep your eyes open. Don't be duped. Turn off the news. Start talking to people. Don't be afraid of people. Man, I have so many ideas for shows now. This show just opened a can of worms for me. I'm excited just to be doing the show with you. So let's do one tomorrow. I don't know what our topic will be.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
And make sure you're subscribed. Did you have anything else to say?
I'm not necessarily on Bernie's platform. I'm just saying if they're gonna, you know what? We are all, things have been shut down. If you're not working, you're not able to find work. You got to do what you got to do. They're not gonna like print money, cause hyperinflation, and I'm not getting any of that. I'm not gonna play that. Might as well, hey, people, hey, there's equal protection under. You're doing it because you believe in equal protection under the law. Bottom line. Is that it?
And just remember, Angela, belief is the enemy of knowing. So good night, and we'll end it here. Thanks again for listening. Come back again. Dawn, I'm sorry I hung up on you, but call back again.